Dhak, for example, it's 4 female actors. The film is mounted at a huge scale. That studios should have the faith that we women can mount big films.
Project.
Om and my friendship and trust with Adi and Kapil, my director, has set the standard so high for me that I just compare every other experience to that. The kind of conversations I've had growing up with Ranbir, with Imtiaz, with Irfan sir on Hindi medium, I've really been able to understand how they approach a film and then the film coming out.
So what were your biggest takeaways from Om, and what was the toughest part in exploring your character?
I think my biggest takeaway has been that sometimes you can fall in love with a particular genre or a type of performance that you never thought you would do. Because honestly, if you would have asked me as a little girl or even 4 years ago that would I ever see myself doing an action film, I would have probably said no to you because I've not grown up watching the genre. I have seen too many of my female idols do too many action parts. So I think that was the biggest takeaway for me, that now we're making a big scale action entertainer with the female actor kicking ass just like the leading hero.
Exactly.
So I love that. That was what I loved the most. And that was also, I guess, the most daunting part because whenever there's a new challenge, you have to kind of push yourself. And this is physically very, very challenging, especially as a girl.
Yeah.
So, but that's the mehnat and that's the part that you kind of like exploring also.
Yeah. So how was it working with Aditya Roy Kapur, and how would you define him as a co-star?
I think I'm being... I hate that we aren't doing interviews together because I think we're both being asked this a lot and we're both not there to back each other up. But I mean it when I say it that there are some sets that you get the good fortune of being on where while you're in that journey, you know that this may never be able to happen again.
Yeah.
And that's something so special can never happen again. So Om and my friendship and trust with Adi and Kapil, my director, has set the standard so high for me that I just compare every other experience to that because of how smooth and special it's been. We've always, we've had each other's backs through this process. We've helped each other. We've kind of been there for each other, and those things, either they happen or they don't. And when they do, you just want to hold on to it.
You have played very distinctive roles in your previous outings too. So what has been your creative process in choosing projects or scripts in general?
So for me, it has, growing up, I didn't grow up wanting to necessarily be a Bollywood actor, or I never thought it's something that can actually happen because I'm just from a regular family in Delhi. I have nothing to do with the film world, and always films have seemed for everyone, they're like a distant dream.
Yeah.
So when Rockstar happened and when I stumbled into this beautiful world of making films, I realized that for me, it's just me and my connection with the story and the character. And I'm unable to complicate it beyond that. So even if I try to strategize and think that, I'll do a romantic tragedy, then I'll do an action film, then I'll do an adventure drama, I don't think these things work according to strategy. They just happen. And my duty, I feel, as an artist is to stay open to those possibilities. And when the opportunities come, to give it everything that I have. So I'm just fortunate that after Dil Bechara, Om kind of happened to me. And now Dhak Dhak is so different from Om. And that's my goal, to just keep shocking myself. And I think in the process, the audiences will also get surprised.
And they'll start accepting you.
I think they've already, I would like
to I think they've already accepted
me
you
a long time ago, but they'll keep, I want them to always feel excited and always feel, taken aback. And that won't happen unless I feel excited. So, yeah.
Mhm. So, coming back to Om, since it's a theatrical release, are you worried about box office numbers and, things like that? Or what is your priority when it comes to films?
So I was speaking to Adi about this, and because obviously he's 10 years ahead of me in experiencing this, and Dil Bechara was supposed to release in theaters but didn't. So this really is the first time I'm experiencing box office jitters.
Okay.
But I've had the good fortune of working with stalwarts since I was a child actor. So the kind of conversations I've had growing up with Ranbir, with Imtiaz, with Irfan sir on Hindi medium, I've really been able to understand how they approach
Yeah.
a film and then the film coming out. And what I've learned is that really what's in an actor's control starts and ends when the film's shoot starts and ends. It is in this phase that we can give it our all. We're here to entertain, and it is in our DNA to just want to please the audiences. But given the times, neither you nor me know what's sticking at the box office. Some films I love aren't doing well, and my mind can't understand why. So that's what I think Aditya and I both did. We gave this one everything we have. We made it through two pandemic waves, and just
Exactly.
wish that our audiences love it. We believe we've made a really good film.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll be the case.
Sanjana, I'm not going to lie, being very frank, you are someone who's very beautiful and pretty, and you're such a delight to watch on screen. But, again, at the same time, does your looks often overshadow the fact that you're actually a hardworking and an earnest actor?
I actually don't think so at all, because usually when you think of a debut and a leading actor's female actor's debut, you think of naach, gana, glamour, blow dried hair, and Kizzy Basu had none of that. I used to put negative makeup. I used to, in fact, add dark circles. I chopped my hair off. I used to barely take 10 minutes in hair and makeup, and really the audiences, the critics, my colleagues, the industry, everything that they come back to me with is the performance.
Yeah.
And as an actor, I can't ask for more. And even Kavya, we've kept her very, very real. She doesn't even have weird hair. She doesn't wear too much makeup. She's just wearing the simplest of clothes, because Kapil and I were like, she's an agent. She's a committed professional.
Yeah.
And when she turns up at office, she's not going to turn up with lipstick and
Fancy
mascara.
makeup.
So,
And,
so I've actually stayed away from the tropes of those tropes naturally. And now as a Bollywood actor, I started to enjoy playing around with it off duty, in our red carpets and in our photo shoots. So I guess it balances out.
Okay. No, so you've been around in this industry for quite some years now, and eventually there has been more emphasis on content-driven roles and films with cutthroat competition. So, as an actor, how are you reinventing yourself and yet keep the individuality of an actor intact?
So honestly, for me, it's happening. It's the way I think, oriented. A lot of this stuff depends on how you approach your own career.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm never in any dying hurry of closing in on X amount of scripts in a year, or pre-planning that I want to do these kinds of films. I think we're in a beautiful phase where today, Thak Thak, for example, it's 4 female actors. The film is mounted at a huge scale. Tapsi Pannu is producing it. This is the dream, right? This is that studios should have the faith that we women can mount big films and helm these projects and tell stories that matter. We don't have any hero. There's none of that. So I guess we are breaking stereotypes naturally by taking these decisions. So I just hope that with every decision we push the envelope, but I don't think I'm consciously thinking that I want to break this stereotype, so let's take this decision. That's not how I'm wired.
Every actor takes time to settle in their career and make the choices that are best suited for their talent. So, what has your approach been towards building your career and enhancing your stardom?
I think it's been two things and two really beautiful things, which I'm grateful for, because there's no guarantee that at 25 you feel that way, because when you're young and your mind is constantly throbbing.
Yeah.
Two things I realized is that being a child actor, a lot of my audiences, when I step out and meet people now, like I've been on the road for the last 6-7 weeks traveling on Dhak Dhak, and any fans that stop by when I'm shooting on the road and scream from the car, I've realized that they've actually seen me grow up
Yeah.
in front of their eyes. And that is so liberating, because they've seen me as me. So now I have no reason to be anybody else. And this feeling of being able to be yourself as a public figure, I find very liberating. Like right now, I'm speaking to you, I'm saying what's really coming to me from my heart. And the confidence to be able to do that is really, really a special feeling. And the second thing is to just not listen to, never say yes to a script because of other reasons, or how big the film is, who is in the film, or
Yeah.
how it's mounted.
True.
Because you have to wake up every day and perform for 15 hours. And if you don't love your character, you're
Yeah.
not going to be able to do justice.
True.
So say yes for the right reasons, basically.
So, do you feel your peers and followers are yet to see the full extent of your prospects as an actor? Because you just started out with leading roles with Dil Bechara, and then the pandemic happened. So, did it somewhere slow down your career too?
The answer to whether they're yet to see a lot more of my prospects is 100% yes, because I know that I have a huge journey ahead of me to explore myself. And really, being an actor is exploring yourself. That's what it truly is. So that for sure. But I don't think it slowed me down, yeah, because the world slowed down. It was the only thing that all of us were in together.
Yeah.
And the fact that Dil Bechara only released 2 years ago, and these 2 years have gone in a pandemic, and OM is releasing now. It's taken a lot of hard work. Making a film in a pandemic is the toughest thing.
Challenge, exactly.
And everyone you must be speaking to must be telling you that, whether it's Jug Jug Jio or Anik or us, we've all shot through multiple waves, and it's been tricky. So you've had to really slow down and take stock of that. But of course, Dil Bechara would have come out and there's no pandemic and we were all out there. I don't know how different life would have been, but these are the cards that we were all dealt out, and I'm only grateful.
You some time ago you mentioned that you come from a very normal family with no such connections even in the industry as such. So do you think that you being an outsider, has it been challenging for you to bank on projects and stuff like that, or if I say have you been a victim of nepotism that way?
I don't think I will never ever consider myself a victim of anything, because that's not how I am wired at all.
You don't look at things like that.
No, I mean, self-victimization is the weakest thing you can do as an individual.
True.
I don't know what it's like to be a star kid. So I don't know how the journey of getting opportunities and doing justice to those opportunities is. I only know what it's like to be a girl growing up in Delhi, going to school, going to Delhi University, being a nerd and chasing a dream. And sitting here today with OM releasing, working on Dhak Dhak, having done Dil Bechara, it would sound foolish if I complain. But I do have to say that each step has been an insane amount of patience and hard work. And it's only because of my mom and dad constantly telling me, जब auditions देते हो और जब नहीं मिलता ना, और जब 30 देते हो और फिर एक भी नहीं मिलता, you come back home at least I used to, when I was younger, I used to treat each of it as a rejection. So I used to go into this really negative thinking space. And it was my dad who told me that, son, each audition you give is just another time that you tried. And your mission is to keep trying. And when it's into it will work out. So it's been a long and tough journey, but I wouldn't like anything easy anyway, because that's not fun. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Sanjana, for doing this with me. I had a great time chatting with you. I'm really looking forward to see you in Om, in Dhak Dhak, and many more projects. And as I said earlier, I've grown up watching you, and
Oh,
I really want to see you shine.
thank you. Thank you so much. This was such a great chat. Enjoy the film and tell me what you thought of it.
Definitely. And I'm really looking forward to do an on-ground interview or meet you in person, kabhi bhi.
100%. We're going to do that around release when I'm back in Bombay.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care.
Take care.
Bye.